Lots just lines obscured by opaque blinds. Frozen metacarpals tap, tap, tap. The window glass syncopated staccatos with a broken clock synchronized with my post-traumatic ticks, ticks. Talking to the space in the
Okay, so I'm here with Silent Planet. You guys just had an album drop today.
Yes.
Wanted to ask you a little bit about, we've been seeing a lot of posts about it on Instagram and everything. How excited are you?
About this excited.
Yeah, I don't know. We might not seem like super outwardly stoked about it, but it's kind of more of like an internal excitement. We've been grinding for several years now, and it's cool to finally, put out another record. And a lot of the people who've already got their hands on it seem really into it, and so we're stoked. We love it, and so far everybody else seems to love it as well. So we're pretty grateful that that people care enough about it to give it a chance and listen to it. Yeah.
Awesome. So I saw a post Garrett posted about stories, different people, things that you heard being in the album, like their stories kind of being told. How did that concept come about? Is that something that he decided or you came together on?
So basically, all of the lyric writing for Garrett, I have to answer for him since he's not here, is basically, I guess kind of like anybody else, although his tends to be a little more thought out, I guess. He goes a lot deeper with it than, I guess, other vocalists. It's basically just his reaction to the music and what the music brings to mind for him. So shortly after The Night God Slept was finished, which is our record that came out in late 2014, he sort of solidified the concept of I want to make the next record about mental illness.
Got it.
And so, he has that in his brain, and then I would write songs, our other guitarist Spencer would write songs, we would send them back and forth. And each song he would kind of, depending on the attributes of the song, sort of make them about this particular mental illness. The really crazy, out there jarring song is about schizophrenia. The really creepy sounding song that has a lot of big explosion type musical elements is about PTSD. It's kind of just his interpretation within the guise of mental illness.
Very well thought out, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was more about like feeling the song and kind of placing the mental illness, like he was saying, with which song. There's 13 songs, 9 rooms, so 9 different mental illnesses. I did 6. I don't know why I did that.
9.
So I saw, leading up to it, the images that came out, kind of with just the song title, not a whole lot of giveaway on it. Whose concept was that, and who kind of came up with that artwork? Did you use someone else? Or?
Yeah. I think right before we entered the studio, me and Gary were just driving around somewhere, and we were talking about art direction, and we were thinking what could be cool, and we sort of arrived at the idea of since we're talking about mental illness and different, each of the 9 rooms, as Thomas was saying, that are the songs of the album, correspond to a different character archetype on this thing called an Enneagram, which is the geometric symbol on the front of the album. So it just kind of seemed natural because of Garrett's background in psychology and stuff to go with the Rorschach type ink blot things.
Right.
And those were created by a man named Jordan Butcher. He did all of the album art and packaging and everything, and he did a killer job, and we're very stoked on it. It's a little weird for a metalcore band to have something that's so colorful and not as dark, but it was kind of a conscious effort to steer away from just being typical, and we wanted to make something that kind of strayed from the beaten path a little bit.
And it's fitting. I mean, at first we were like, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
With the songs and
Totally.
No, it looks good. I was gonna say it really ties everything together.
Now everything, seeing it as a bundle, as a tangible something, is we couldn't be happier.
Awesome. Cool. So I know, just speaking of Garrett and kind of his thought process and everything, I've seen a lot of interviews with him, and he is very outspoken about a lot of different issues that are going on in our culture and Christianity and everything. And I saw your post about the Orlando tragedy, and how you guys you gave blood, you donated blood, you were giving merchandise or whatever. Have you had anybody come up to you yet, or what are your thoughts on that? How is that going so far?
That particular incident?
Yeah, either about the incident or anybody that you've spoken to about it. Any light you want to shed on?
Anyone that has come up to us has just said thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
No one has actually, we're going to play Orlando tomorrow.
I'll be there.
So, we might have some
again.
people that have lived there and experienced it that might come up to us, but we haven't had something like, hey, my brother was involved, or we haven't had any stories like that so far. people just seem to really respect that as a Christian band. You know, we support people, we support humans, regardless of who you are or whatever. And I just really, just off record, you know, Christian band, we're just a band, you know, like my mom's a nurse, she's not a Christian nurse, she's just a nurse, so we're just dudes that play music and we have a message, and that's that.
Awesome. Well, I think that's really awesome what you're doing. It's very humble, it's very generous. I know the people in Orlando will really appreciate it. Any final words for your fans or about the album? Anything you want to, any encouraging? What would Garrett say?
Garrett would say
something very universal, abstract.
He would say, oh, sorry, hat forward.
Hat forward.
Take your shoes off.
Thank you guys for supporting us. I can't do it. But it's the same thing any of us would say. Yeah, thank you for your continued support and caring enough about our band to you know, come to things like Warped Tour and sweat all day. And a lot of people come up to us and say that like we're the reason they're here. I mean, I'm sure that happens to a lot of bands, but like for us, being on like one of the smaller stages, this is our first time at Warped. We're pretty much noobs in this whole area, and it's really cool that people, you know, still care enough to like come and support us, even though we're not on some huge stage, you know. But yeah.
How's the experience been so far?
It's brutal. It's hot. It's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you release anything, a T-shirt design, a CD, you don't know who's going to respond and how they're going to respond.
Sure.
And we just want to thank everybody that has 2 thumbs up for us, because that really goes a long way for us and gives us a lot of encouragement to continue. So thank you.
Awesome.